all the information, starting from the problem statement to understanding your user market and other related factors, and then planning your research, and then maybe having some sort of like approach to your research, maybe questionnaires or interview approach or something. So can we have somebody responding to? Sambhav, Gitanjali, if you have.
Sir, I have already discussed.
You have already done this.
Yes.
So maybe the last part you can discuss later, the previous session, before yesterday's details. If you have any specific,
Yes,
let's say, question, how you're going to approach to that, that we will discuss towards the end. Gitanjali, have you presented before?
So actually मैं समझ नहीं पा रही कि basically क्या present करना है.
Okay.
कि from starting to the end अब तक हमने जितना किया वो सारा.
हाँ, तो मेरा idea क्या था? My request was to suggestion was to basically see you have to build all these things step by step. First is the problem statement. If you have problem statement ready, then possibly you will be able to go forward much easier in terms of how you will plan your research or how you'll try to understand your market or maybe your customers and their issues, challenges and all. Then moving forward, possibly if you have your problem statement correctly defined and your research needs or research questions are well articulate, then possibly you can plan some research tools, which we discussed that day. Yeah. So you will possibly be able to plan that better. If you have, let's say, multiple questions emerging from your problem statement, then you can possibly take some approach to make those sort of like questions answered. So, जैसे आपका टॉपिक क्या है? रिसर्च टॉपिक क्या है?
So health.
आपका एंटरप्राइज क्वेश्चन क्या है?
So basically हमारा टॉपिक जो था वो हेल्थ रिलेटेड था. हमने मतलब डिस्कशन की थी उस पे.
ये होता. Yes.
डिजिटल दवा पर्ची. एंड उसी पे मतलब हमने कुछ जो क्वेश्चंस थे उस टाइम बनाए थे. बट जस्ट अभी बिकॉज हमारे एग्जाम स्टार्ट हो गए हैं तो इस वजह से हम क्वेश्चंस पे ज्यादा वर्क नहीं कर पाए हैं.
ऑलराइट. ओके. तो उस पे काम करिए. हाँ, उस पे काम जरूर करिए. मेरा सजेशन यही है कि कई बार क्या होता है ना, जब हम जब प्रॉब्लम्स देखते हैं अपने आसपास, जब हम अलग अलग तरह की प्रॉब्लम्स देखते हैं, हमको ऐसा लगता है कि इन प्रॉब्लम्स को हमको तुरंत सॉल्व करने की जरूरत है. ठीक है. कई बार हम ये मिस कर जाते हैं कि उन प्रॉब्लम्स के पीछे बड़े रीजंस क्या हो सकते हैं. ठीक है. क्यों वो प्रॉब्लम्स अभी भी एग्जिस्ट करती हैं और लोग उसको सॉल्व नहीं कर पाए. जैसे मेडिसिन का केस है. अगर मेडिसिन डिलीवरी इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है एक हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम में, तो अभी तक गवर्नमेंट ने उस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व क्यों नहीं किया है? ठीक है. और अगर उन्होंने सॉल्व करने की कोशिश की है तो वो किस किस तरीके से कोशिश की है? उन्होंने सेंटर्स बना दिए जहाँ पे दवाइयाँ मिल जाती हैं, लोग जाते हैं वहाँ पे दवाइयों के बारे में पूछते हैं. बट जो मॉडर्न डे प्रॉब्लम है, जबकि दवाइयाँ फ्री हो गई हैं और हेल्थ केयर पे अब हम इतना ज्यादा सोचने लगे हैं, तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि वो सिस्टम आज की डेट में वो रेलेवेंट नहीं है जो सिस्टम उन्होंने बनाया है, और इसको क्वेश्चन करना बहुत जरूरी है. ठीक है. तो जब आप इस चीज को आप देखेंगे कि अगर दवाओं के बारे में अगर या मेडिसिन के बारे में अगर सही इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिल रही है और लोग कई बार बिना मेडिसिन खरीदे या तो फिर बाहर से मेडिसिन खरीद के अपना काम चला रहे हैं, इसका मतलब है कि वहां पे प्रॉब्लम है. ठीक है. आज की डेट में तो हमारी कोशिश यही रहेगी कि जब भी हम अपना रिसर्च प्लान करें तो हम उन सारे एलिमेंट्स को चेक करें, ना कि केवल ये पूछना है कि अच्छा आपको दवाएं नहीं मिलती है, ठीक है, हम आपकी दवाओं का कुछ ना कुछ इंतजाम करते हैं. ठीक है. आपकी मेडिसिन आपको टाइम पे नहीं मिलती है, उसका कुछ करते हैं. ठीक है. ये तो बहुत अपरेंट प्रॉब्लम है और उसका सॉल्यूशन अगर आपने कुछ कर भी दिया तो हो सकता है कि वो सारी प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व ना करे. हमारा क्वेश्चन केवल यही है. पिछले 2-3 सेशन से हम केवल यही बात कर रहे हैं कि हम अपने प्रॉब्लम को कैसे राइटली आइडेंटिफाई करें, उसको राइटली डिफाइन करें और उसके बारे में जितना ज्यादा हो सके उसके बारे में हम रिसर्च करें और ये बताएं कि हमारी प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअल में क्या है. ठीक है. अब थोड़ा सा इस पे ध्यान दीजिएगा. मुझे लगता है आपके केस में सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि आपके सामने प्रॉब्लम बहुत क्लियर है. आप देख सकते हैं कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है. ठीक है. क्योंकि लोग क्यू में खड़े हुए हैं, उनको प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं. ठीक है. बट जब मैं एनालाइज करता हूँ और मैं आपके प्रॉब्लम के बारे में सोच भी रहा था पहले, जब हमने डिस्कस किया था उसके बाद भी मैं सोच रहा था कि प्रॉब्लम इतनी मुश्किल क्यों है. और मुझे कहीं पे लगता है कि इस प्रॉब्लम का ये प्रॉब्लम बहुत ही सिस्टमिक प्रॉब्लम है। इस प्रॉब्लम में बहुत सारे ऐसे एलिमेंट्स हैं जो उस प्रॉब्लम के लिए कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, बट वो विजिबल नहीं है। जैसे सप्लायर्स हो सकते हैं, डॉक्टर्स हो सकते हैं, गवर्नमेंट के इंटेंशंस हो सकते हैं, गवर्नमेंट की अवेयरनेस हो सकती है, जहां पे कहीं पे भी यूजर नहीं है। ठीक है, तो अगर आप उस तरीके से उसको मैप करेंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि आपकी प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा इजीली सॉल्व होगी और उसका इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा अच्छा होगा। ठीक है, आप इसको थोड़ा सा देखिए, फिर हम मे बी नेक्स्ट टाइम हम इस पे बात करेंगे। एनी अदर ग्रुप?
Sir, I would like to participate. My name is Saurav.
Saurav, I think you have to switch off one of the microphone. Okay, yeah. Not able to hear you.
Now I am audible, sir.
Yes, yeah.
I'm going to present my PPT. We will discuss over it.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Is my screen visible to all?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, we can see. Yeah.
Okay, sir. We are a team member of 4 people, and we are a consultant of sustainability. Sustainability means anything which we are going to develop without harming the present and the future resources. So, sir, my project is this work is based on agricultural managing agricultural agro waste products and reducing carbon footprints. So basically, my problem statement starts with current agricultural practices, which is significantly contributing to the climate change. Now, everybody is aware about greenhouse gas emissions, which are contributing to the climate change, and land degradation, which is also a major cause of climate change. If we fix this issue, we will ensure the food security for the future generation and might mitigate the climate change. So this is a pictorial diagram which is representing how what are the indicators of climate change. High greenhouse gas emissions are a major indicator, then soil degradation, groundwater surface contamination, and crop residue improper disposal, which is burning. And after burning the crop residue, we are getting air pollution through major of the northern Indian cities. So my problem statement with the listeners is that, are you facing extreme temperatures in summer? How many of you are agree with this? I think all will be agree with this. Do you think your basic meal is contaminated? The food you are getting is not of that quality which was previously our grandparents were eating uh, due to the excess use of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, and then pesticides. Are you facing water crisis? Yes, recently many of our Indian cities are facing water crisis. Now, do you think air quality is not good in your area? Yes, mostly it was our non-attainment cities. The list of non-attainment cities is 131 in India. So 131 cities of India is not able to make it into a good air quality city. Is your soil health all right? No. Basically, this question belongs to the people who are coming from the remote areas. So those people know that the soil health is not good and soil is degrading day by day. Productivity of the soil is degrading day by day. So this is a small presentation of the problem statement in which we can see that starting from the right top corner, uh, it depicts the water crisis happening in our country. Second is global warming. Third one is land degradation, how much land is degraded. And at the bottom right, you can see how our soil health has been affected very badly. Paddy cultivation emits nearly large amount of carbon dioxide, which induce the climate change. And then the residue after various kind of crop residues contributing to the air pollution of the nearby vicinity of the top tier cities, and the health impact are very hazardous because PM 2.5 directly enter to the lungs and damage the alveoli of the lungs, which can cause cancer after some later periods. Now, user and their need. Every common man is a user to my this consultancy services. That every man is a user. They are purchasing crops from their for day-to-day survival on daily basis, eating toxic fertilizer applied food, breathing agro waste burned mixed air, experiencing climate change and temperature rise in day-to-day basis, fresh water crisis, and several health-related issues. The problem I'm trying to solve is that reducing greenhouse gas emission from agricultural activities, enhance soil carbon sequestration to store atmospheric carbon, minimize land degradation and improve soil health, improve water use efficiency for resource conservation, use of fermented organic fertilizers for better nutrition of the crop production, and development of sustainable agriculture so that we can become a climate resilient country. And I'm my company is aligning ourselves to the 7 SDGs. We are trying to we are trying to uh, that eliminate poverty, hunger. We are going to improve the health and well-being. We are uh, going to promote responsible and consumptive production and uses. Then clean water, climate action, life below water, and life on land. So we are targeting to meet 8 SDGs. So my audience would be uh, a large group of farmers if they united with the Sarpanch, or a team of 2, 3 villages coming to participate in this uh, consultancy services which I'm going to provide. Then policy makers, if any policy makers who want to uh, promote such kind of activity, and then consumers and researchers and scientists can work on my model and develop it for the very uh, huge population. Now, there is another task too, which was given to last, I think, week. So the first question was, who is the user? So I have tried to figure out, and I think everyone is my user. Everyone is a victim of climate change, poor crop quality. But while defining the boundaries at who will help to tackle the issue, user could be food chain suppliers, food processing industries, or anyone who want to make green investment projects for carbon credits. Now, what problems they are facing? The problems question two was that what problems our user are facing. I think the user are well aware that they are breathing bad air, eating toxic food, and experiencing extreme climate change, freshwater crisis, several health related issues. Now, the third question was that what alternative they have at present. So I think there is no alternative people are having. They have to face what they are getting. Why will they take my solution? That question was that good health, food, and environment are the basic human necessity which everyone is looking for eagerly. We are working to provide end-to-end solution to any investor who want to invest in green sustainability projects as well as to achieve maximum sustainable development goals. How much they would invest or pay for your offering. So this is just a general idea because I have not worked deeply. How will be my services going to provide end-to-end services? Which part? What will be the payment plans? How will be the payment plans? So I have given a generalized answer that for our offering starting from 50 lakhs for 25 hectare of agricultural land. So how do you define your market? My market is very large in terms of project application. End-to-end solution
So,
can take.
I'll interrupt you. Sorry for this. I think, see, when you're saying problem statement, your problem statement is a situation. It's not a problem statement. Yeah, when you just go to the problem statement, It's a common problem. It's a problem which we are seeing, and that way every problem is a problem otherwise. Like, and we can possibly solve all the problems in one go. But as an entrepreneur, possibly you cannot just say that, okay, I'm going to correct the agricultural practices. Because in the process
Basically,
of
sir,
correcting everything, you will possibly not be able to produce, or maybe not be able to produce in a right sort of like quantity, or may not be at a right price. That is something which is a economic sort of like assessment of your problem also requires to be done.
actually, sir, these problems are basically interrelated. I will start from the first part of how consultancy services will going to work. Uh,
No, let's
F1
say
is
we
a
are saying the problem of let's say rising temperature because of the greenhouse gases, because of the water contamination. People are facing issues. The land
yes,
degradation which is happening because of use of fertilizer. These are all problems which we have created. Yeah,
sir.
and everybody knows this, that there are problems. But
Yes, sir.
why people are not solving those problems? What is your assessment of this? Why people are not just going forward saying, I just want to uh, get some solution. I want to make people be better by doing something. Why it is
Also,
not happening?
technology has evolved just last decades. Technology have evolved rapidly. Before that, there
Okay.
was no such kind of technology. People, farmers were illiterate. They were not knowing that wastewater, investing so much water in paddy will going to generate much amount of rice products. They don't have any solution for their crop residues. They don't have that
So let's say
before.
let's take one problem. Let's take one problem and say that
Yes,
okay,
sir.
we want to solve this problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So maybe a problem of stubble burning. This
Yes, sir.
problem is there for almost like noticed for almost like 20 years now. I remember for
Yes,
last
sir.
20 years we have been talking about that. For last 15 years we have been talking about that this problem is there, which is causing a lot of issues, discomfort, health complications, yeah,
Yes, sir.
disruption in air traffic and train traffic because of the fog. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Why this problem has not been solved so far?
So collection of stubble burning is a very tedious and hard process because collection of stubble burning requires a lot of transportation, and transportation itself, if the
Yeah,
storage
so but you're
capacity.
saying that technology has evolved to a level where we can solve anything related to
Yes, sir.
farm
Now,
issues.
now, now we are moving very fast. Now we are
So
able
what
to
is
solve
what
this.
is the possibility? Like how you will get rid of this waste which is lying on the farm?
The CBG
And
plants are going to install in India at a very rapid pace. Compressed
okay,
biogas plants. If you know that Punjab has been ordered 500 CBG plants in their respective districts. Each districts have to be installed 5 CBG plants. All the waste, agro waste, are going to be dumped in the CBG plant. That will be degrade the waste material with anaerobic condition. Anaerobic condition will generate methane gas, and methane gas will be used as biofuels in the CNG or CNG cars. After some blending or refining, they will be using CNG cars. So all the waste which previously got burned is now used as a raw material for CBG, and that after that CBG waste
so
that is digested, the
what is
sludge
the
will
problem?
remain.
Let's say all these biogas plants are there. Do you think the problem of stubble burning will be solved and people will be free from that pollutant floating on
If
the
this CBG plant setup is going at a very rapid speed, uh, let's say our target was to reduce the CO2 emission by 2030 by 45 to 30%. So at the end of 2030 era, we are going to get a very clean air after such kind of industrialization would take place on biofuels. There are a lot of biofuel summit in are going place in India, in which we
yeah.
are tackling such kinds of problem. There are various entrepreneurs which are who are making that we used to eat on plastic papers in weddings. Now there are various industries who are going to invest in the crop residue cutleries. They are going to introduce wooden cutleries uh, in the various occasions or festivals or any celebration which are going to be placed in India future. So
Yeah.
crop residue, I
No,
think, is
see,
a
this is
problem of next 5 years. After the 5 years, there will be no problem of crop residue.
sort of, I think for an entrepreneur, one has to be very
Yes, sir.
practical in terms of understanding why the problem is there and why the problem has not been solved so far, and how that problem will be solved by you, and how you can possibly bring in a formula which nobody has worked on, or maybe very few have worked on, but you have a very powerful sort of like idea to get those results. Yeah,
Yes,
that
sir.
should emerge in your first few slides. I think that is something
Okay,
where we have to
okay. The
basically
basically
define.
methodology of what I am going to do.
Yeah. No, this,
Okay.
see, what is happening right now, you have taken up too many problems. Yeah. Nobody can solve too many problems. Not even government.
But sir, I'm not able to solve all the problems, but I am going to provide the consultancy services regarding this, that I am going to provide in each sector. I am going to provide the solution in each sector.
Okay.
And previously,
So
such kind of work
your
has been
problem.
done by Adani in Himachal, that they have taken all the farms of apple, they grow their own apples and sell into the international markets. So and there are a lot of CSR values come up now. BSRB reporting and ESG reporting has introduced in India. After that, many MNCs has to invest in such kind of project so that their CSR values could increase and their BSR reporting could be good and ESG reporting can become a better.
Okay. So my suggestion would be, I think, work on the problem statement. See, problem statement should be aligned with your idea. It should not be a general
Yes, sir.
statement. Yeah, so your
Okay.
idea is basically to provide consultancy and right advice to maybe farmers or maybe policymakers or maybe administrators. So here the problem statement is basically about the right idea to the right stakeholders, which is not existing in present scenario. This is what something you have found out. So what you're saying right now is that yes, there are a lot of problems, but nobody knows what to be done.
Yes, sir.
And in this scenario, a right advisor or an intelligent advisor is required who can
Yes, sir.
possibly look at from multiple perspective, tries to understand the challenges and provides a solution which is most appropriate.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That is where I am getting stuck. That how I will allot my stakeholders. How much stakeholders I should add into this idea, and how will be my stakeholders get involved at different stages of this consultancy services. This is where I'm actually getting stuck.
Okay. All right. So I think rework on the problem statement. Once you get the problem rightly defined, then possibly you will start seeing the stakeholders who are going to take your solution. See, there might be possibility that anybody can take advice from you, but it is not going to happen in such a easier manner. Not everybody will come forward and say, "Acha, you are somebody who really need to work with us." Yeah, it is not going to happen. So maybe you have to have make some steps. Like first you will reach out to farmers or maybe farmer bodies or maybe the local administration. And then you will start reaching to others. So maybe initially you can provide consultancy to institutions who are dealing with farmers and they will take your advice and work with
Yes, sir.
these agencies. So by looking into this scenario, you have to have a right sort of like statement. And then from that statement, you have to have the right sort of like audience who is going to work with you for next few months or years.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And then by
Can
doing
you help
so,
me with that?
yes, sir.
Sir, I was thinking that to work on in that privatization in agriculture. If any MNC wants to take the land with the farmer that they are going to produce such amounts of crop on their land, and they are going to the values which they are getting previously from after harvesting their crops. So वो पुराना जितना कमा रहे थे वो उतना उनको रिटर्न कर देंगे, वो तो फिक्स कर देंगे, लेकिन उससे इसके ऊपर का जितना प्रॉफिट होगा कार्बन क्रेडिट्स के थ्रू, या तो क्रेडिट्स जनरेट करेंगे जीएचजी एमिशन करने के लिए। कार्बन क्रेडिट मार्केट इंडिया में आ चुका है, तो कार्बन क्रेडिट्स के थ्रू और जो प्रोडक्ट्स वो अच्छा सप्लाई करेंगे, जिसके थ्रू वो ऑर्गेनिक जो प्रोडक्ट अब ऑर्गेनिक हो चुका होगा उसके थ्रू, तो वो बेनिफिट उनको मिल जाएगा काफी प्राइवेट कंपनीज को। तो क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि इस डायरेक्शन में भी चीजों को ले जाया जा सके कि प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्रीज इसमें उतरे, अब इसमें एग्रीकल्चर को प्राइवेटाइज कर दिया जाए?
I think you should read articles. There are multiple articles on farm-related issues in the country, yeah, in India. If you just look into, or you can possibly refer to other countries' models also. On one side, we are talking about industrialization of farming. On other side, we
Yes, sir.
also talk about there are so many people, almost 60% now, 60, 65%, 70%. Earlier, 80% people used to depend on farming
Farming.
for
Yes.
their livelihood. Yeah, it is still the largest employer in the country. Yeah. So if you just talk about industrialization, possibly it will disrupt the whole economic sort of like stability. Yeah. So government doesn't go for one short solution, because they know that how it is going to have multiple ripple effects, how it is going to disrupt the system, how it is going to affect the farmers, not only the farmers, but larger economy and the other stakeholders in the economy. So that way,
Yes.
government will always be very, very careful about any intervention, and they will do multiple number of hit and trial, or maybe multiple number of experiments before going for anything. Yeah, Sri Lanka is a good example. Just read reports about Sri Lanka, how Sri Lanka has really sort of spoiled, or maybe they have just disrupted their well-established agricultural system by introducing organic farming. Yeah. So they had great idea about not using fertilizer. They promoted idea of organic farming, which is more eco-sustainable and all. And it has created a major sort of like issue in the country. Yeah. And along with some other factors like pandemic and then some terrorist attacks and this and that, they got into a major problem. Yeah. For last 3-4 years, the economy has not been able to sustain on its own. Is looking for some external support. Yeah. It is all because of such decisions. There is an article, you can just type this. I'm not very sure the title of this, but India's farming problem is dash. There are too many farmers. Yeah, I read this article long back, almost some months back. Yeah.
Okay, sir, I will try to find it and read it.
So just look for such type of articles. There are too many farmers there in the country. So even if you want to bring in mechanization, if you want to bring in automation, you want to bring in more industrial or more sophisticated approach towards agriculture, it is not going to happen. Yeah, in one go. So any solution which you will suggest will have a lot of repercussions, and your interventions will not be taken by people. So we talk about, okay, converting all waste into biodegradable, this and then that sort of like solution. It is not easy because farmers are saving some bit of money. And now you are asking, our government is asking them to bring all their waste to a factory where they will be compressed and made some briquettes or something, which will be used as a
Yes.
fire bricks, yeah, fire wood or fire compressed wood. It's not going to happen so easily because there are issues. Farmers are overoccupied because they have a lot of other things to do. When their farmland is ready, they just want to burn
Earlier they
everything.
were not happy, but after they are getting paid for the waste, they are very
So
happy that
there is a complex mechanism of also getting paid. Not everybody will be
yes, sir.
paid. Not everybody will be able to access this benefit. Government has a lot of challenges to provide right money to right people. Yeah. So you will
Yes, sir.
find that a lot of corruption will take place, and you will not be able to see the right farmers getting to this. Even if they are getting paid, they will still keep burning their farm produce or farm waste. So it's not so easy. The way we see that, okay, there is a solution, you have some idea and it is going to work. you have to meticulously work on like why it is not being solved. And it cannot be done with multiple problems. You have to say that, okay, farmer, either you can take up farmer as an entity and look for what type of suggestions or possibilities they are looking forward to. Just look at farmers only. Just go and sit, work with them, spend some time and talk to them. What is your problem? Why you're not able to produce rightly, or why you're not able to earn good money? Or maybe go to the administrator who are working for maybe farm related policies and try to understand what they are struggling with right now. As a consulting firm, as a consulting organizations, maybe here you will find some connection between these 3 or 4 entities. And then you can look forward to something which possibly they are looking forward as a solution. They are looking at something which can be provided by you. Yeah. If it is an easy solution, then possibly they will be able to get it on their own. If it is too complex a solution, then possibly they will not be interested in it. So this is where your innovation will happen, which will make their life easier, your solution more usable, and will benefit not only them, but will also benefit you to sustain your idea. Yeah. So I think redefine your problem statement. I think it's very, very critical that you should have a very strong problem statement. You can say farmers are not educated. And you define that. What is education for a farmer? How you can call an educated farmer? Who is an educated farmer? And you can say that the person who is able to understand information, who is able to grasp information, who is able to act on something, who is able to connect with others, is the education of a farmer. Yeah. And you can possibly define that and say that I'm going to provide this. I'm going to make farmers educated. It's a very strong statement. Yeah. And you will say that, okay, this education is not about ability to read, ability to comprehend and all. It's ability to look into future, how their farms and their farm produce are going to be and how they can make profit out of it. Something like that will be the more stronger statement where you will get support, where you will get funding, where you will get people willing to work with you. Yeah. If it is not going to work out, then possibly people will say, okay, yeah, we'll have to try out something else.
This point would be a very critical point if I'm going to add that farmer education would be part of this consultancy services.
Okay.
So
look into other stakeholders also. I'm not saying that just look into farmers, but try to see how administrators, how policymakers, how maybe NGOs, how maybe the support organization, cooperatives, how they see the problems in present scenario, and take up 1 or 2 problems. Say that, okay, farm related profits, or maybe farm related waste, or maybe protecting land, yeah, or maybe conserving water, or maybe air quality and associated factors.
Yeah, basically these all are interrelated, sir.
Yeah. No, I know this, but when you work on everything, when you will try to work on everything, then you will not be able to solve anything.
Yes, sir. We have to skeletile this whole issue that this will be the main problem and these are the branches. So I have to align this idea in such kind of format.
So take a systems approach. Try to look at from systems perspective. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Saurabh, I'll suggest some references for systems perspective. Because social problems or social challenges are mostly the systemic issues. And they cannot be solved by solving one element or one problem or one area. So that way, I think I can possibly provide some information, and then the groups can refer to that.
Be very helpful, sir.
Yeah.
So thank you. Can I stop sharing my
Yes,
slides?
sir. Yeah, and I'll be interested in looking into your next sort of like work when you will possibly go back, work on something, and then you present. I'll really be interested. Yeah.
Sure. Next time it will
Okay.
be.
Okay. All the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can we have any other group want to make the presentation? Chavi?
Yes, Chavi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Let me present my screen.
Yeah.
Sir, is it visible?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I am from Team Sign Language, and we are a team of 4 students, second year BTech students from WIPS, which is a part of IPU. This is a problem statement. We looked at some stats and we found out that there is a community of 4 crore people who have some sort of hearing or speech impairment. And there are only 250 certified ISL interpreters in our country, and with only 6 lakh people who are proficient in ISL. This poses a great language disparity between the hearing and non-hearing communities. So our aim was to develop a user-friendly and innovative software to translate ISL sign gestures into their respective translations in text and voice output. So our user research, these are some potential users which can benefit from a software like sign language. So obviously deaf and mute individuals, their family members, interpreters, educators, public service providers, and healthcare professionals. And for user research, we started a Google form and we also interviewed some people this week to gain some insight into the problems which people face and how we can tackle them and enhance our software to better cater to their needs. These were some results from our Google form. So the most popularly seeked features in such a software are real-time translation, image to text translation, and voice output functionality. And we plan to incorporate them into our software. And the suggestions which we most received were low consumer cost and user-friendly interface with multilingual translation. This is not exactly set right now, but this is the proposed subscription cost. If we provide a subscription, it would be 199 per month, and if a user opt for an annual subscription, we will lower that to 149 per month. And in future, maybe we will add an interactive course on ISL to teach people sign language, and it will have some separate cost. This is not final as of now, but this is the estimated cost.
Yeah.
These are the statistics. As I've already told you, that there is a community of 4 crore people approximately who have some kind of impairment, and 6 lakh people are proficient in ISL, and 250 are certified ISL interpreters. As of now, there are similar technologies, but none of the softwares cater to ISL. There are apps and softwares which can translate ASL gestures, but for Indian Sign Language, there are none. These are some apps which are similar to sign language, but they have different purposes. And these are some key insights. So the market demand is very high. I have talked to some people who have impairment and with their family members, and they all have stated that they faced a lot of problem in understanding each other. So a software like this could immensely help them. And there will be some challenges in the technical aspect of our software, but we will tackle them with time. And for future prospect, we would do some advancement in technology to enhance it. We will have to curate a good data set, and we will have to continually enhance it to increase the accuracy of our model. And also we will take user feedback to continuously improve our features and also to cater the problem more effectively. And maybe in future we can expand our model to convert not only ISL but different sign languages into different languages. Ways to reach out would be, the first goal would be to establish an effective feedback channel so we can take consumer input and we can uh, better tackle their problems. And we will also actively collaborate with organizations and NGOs to better gain the insight of the problems they face every day, because it is very important to understand the social problems that they face on a daily basis to actually create solution for that. These are some keywords associated with our software. So advanced AI, deep learning, easy to use, user friendly, and offline connectivity, real time translation, and low consumer cost. So the values we are bringing in, the first is accessibility, inclusivity, empowerment, and technological advancement, cultural preservation, as ISL is a very integral part of India's cultural heritage. So, a software like this would help in the preservation of it, and also efficiency, as our software will effectively translate the gestures into their translations. This is our team. Thank you.
Yeah, all members are here. This Kiran, we have seen her.
Sir.
All right, very good. So what is your, why this problem has not been solved so far?
So I think the main problem is that we would require a big data set and we will have to improve it continuously, which would take a lot of work.
Okay.
There are similar innovations, but none of them are actually accessible to the people.
Okay. Any other reason? Any other reason that this problem has not been solved?
So the thing that I think is that it's difficult to communicate with people who are part of the community. It poses a communication gap, so we cannot clearly understand their problem.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So why international softwares have not been taken to this level? Why we are waiting for maybe your company to take it up? Yeah. I think you should ask these questions. Huh? Why this problem has not been solved so far? Why people have not taken up a challenge and said that, okay, I want to solve this problem because this is a bigger problem and nobody has looked into it. Why it has taken so much of time that your organization is looking into it, or a few organizations like yours are now working on it. So my feeling is like sometimes it is not recognized as a problem, yeah, which has happened in a lot of scenarios when we come across maybe problems related to disability, accessibility, or maybe providing certain type of aid or support, or maybe in some cases. So we always have a priority. We want to, like Maslow's hierarchy, we will try to make sure that food, shelter, basic needs are met first. So our energy will be mostly focused around those domains. Then we'll go to the next level where we are talking about basic comfort, security, safety. Third will be little luxury and all. Fourth is more spiritual. And then further sort of like levels. This is how we prioritize. And in recent years, people have started talking about, government has started putting more emphasis on accessibility for people who have disability. And by doing so, they are trying to look into the scenarios like where maybe visually impaired or maybe uh, physical accessibility issues, and those type of challenges are now have been started looking into by NGOs and government and other agencies. And this is how problem has been recognized now. So one, I think big reason is like your problem has not been considered as a problem so far. But now people have started looking into it and now people are able to afford. Now people are talking about equality and equal opportunity and all those type of factors. this problem is emerging as a bigger problem now. Yeah. So maybe my suggestion will be to understand this scenario, why this is to be considered as a problem now, and why it is such a big problem that nobody has looked into, and they need to possibly resolve those problems. Second factor could be, yes, problem has been resolved, but there is no input in terms of like local requirements, like local languages, or maybe local sign sort of like systems, languages and all have not been incorporated. So where you have an opportunity because you are part of this region, you will possibly be able to get into it as compared to anybody else who is coming from the outside. Yeah. Then possibly people have not been able to understand how to deal with this type of situation. Yeah. Could be your USP that you know how to make good programs, how to make possibly how to collect data and how to possibly make use of AI and all. Could be your third level of USP. And possibly other levels may be related to lack of awareness among common people, maybe lack of interest to look into these problems, or maybe lack of other sort of like opportunities to possibly take people with disability to those levels. Could be possibly coming in the later layers. Yeah. Could be one approach of defining this problem. Yeah. So Chami, my suggestion will be that your problem statement can possibly be more elaborate in these terms. Yeah. And when you go to your users, then you can have multiple sort of like sets of users who need to answer your those questions, and you will be able to get more insights. I'm not saying that your approach is not sort of like is not meeting your requirement, but maybe you can have more inputs. You can open up more sort of like channels to understand why this problem need to be solved. Yeah, so that your solution will be more acceptable when it reaches to the higher level of sort of like execution. But I think it's a good effort. Yeah, it's a good effort, but try to look into what type of areas where you're missing out on, where you have to focus more, how you can possibly see more opportunities coming in into these domain when you possibly start talking to multiple levels of like opportunities or problems. Yep. And then comes your research approach. My more focus, as per our previous conversation, is to look into what type of tools you are going to use. Can you go for an interview with people with disability? Can you go for maybe more engaging sort of like way of getting certain responses? Can you be more creative in terms of like how you can possibly make them respond to your questions, and you will be getting those sort of like responses and insights. So that way you can be more creative in that domain and possibly look for possibilities of like engaging your stakeholders in multiple levels. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Any other group? So I have something to share with you on Insight. Yeah. And then we will possibly take up one more group. So should I share my screen so that I can share? Just one minute. Okay. Okay, when we say insights, and Chavi, your group has worked on insight very interestingly. You have come up with a lot of like insights where you have those insights. You have used those insights to possibly take some directions. So when we say insights, how we define insights? Yeah, insights are not data. Data doesn't tell you anything. Data is just a piece of some information which can be processed. Yeah. So that data will possibly not tell you what to be done. Basically, insights will tell you where you should go and what you should do. Yeah. So here in this part, when we conclude our research, when we lead our research to a logical end, we expect some insights to emerge from our research activity. And it's very critical part. You can possibly generate some insights maybe before you start your research activity, and you can possibly make your research based on those insights, and you try to validate them or try to look forward to maybe more deeper insights. In some cases, insights emerge at the middle of research when you are engaging with your users, or sometimes you are visiting your user scenarios or market situations, and you come across insights. Like Ratan Tata got an insight when he saw a family riding a two-wheeler. Yeah, 4 people, 5 people riding a two-wheeler. And he got an insight that there is a possibility of making a car which such family can afford. Yeah, this was the insight. Yeah, it was not requiring any extensive research and doing questionnaire and all. But Mr. Ratan Tata came across some idea that there is a possibility, and energy can be put into maybe making a car which is less than 1 lakh rupee, yeah, which can possibly provide such type of support to a family who really need a car. Yeah. Because bikes are not safer, they're not weather sort of like proof, they are uncomfortable, yeah, and that doesn't give you a sense of pride also. So that way, insight came into possibly his mind. In some other terms, sometimes insight comes when you are deeply engaged with customers on day-to-day basis, and by their responses or their user patterns, usage patterns, you come across insights. Yeah, sometimes you do research, and you process those research data, you generate some insights. Yeah. So insights are sometimes the insights are available all across your domain, but you're not able to see them rightly. And this is where you need to go for a research. Yeah, so insights are deep and deeper understanding or revelations gained through the analysis, interpretation, or synthesis of data or information. Yeah, many times it happens that you process, you churn your data, and then you get some sort of like cream out of it, which is insights. It is basically interrelation emerging from the factors. Different factors give you some interrelation between those elements. And from there, you realize, okay, something is hidden here, which I should make use of. And then I should go forward to provide some solution. Yeah. In Chavi's scenario, possibly the churning is basically happening because there are challenges faced by people, and also there are no availability of software or some system which can possibly provide some assistance. Yeah, lack of people who can be possibly bridging this gap, the interpreters and all. Yeah, the complex Indian language versus international sign language system, which has got some sort of like mismatch and creating some sort of like problem. And problem scale is too high. And that is where I think solution can possibly be brought in to benefit more number of people. Not for the profit initially, but for making them more aligned with the idea of society and idea of like system. Yeah. That could be possibly generating some insight because you have got a lot of big things which are interrelated, and you're seeing some patterns emerging here. Okay. In some cases, insights are also sudden realizations. Yeah, you just come across, Mr. Ratan Tata saw some bike riding family, and this idea stuck in his mind. Steve Jobs came across somebody struggling with headphone, and he came across the idea of like AirPods. Yeah. Or maybe somebody came across some other challenges like situations happening in our day-to-day life, and people come up with ideas. Yeah. Insights often emerge at the intersection of multiple disciplines. So sometimes marketing guys looking into technology domain and realize, okay, this technology can be used in these areas because they have idea of like how technology can be adopted in some other domain where technologists have never been able to see the market and understand. So many times it happens. And if entrepreneurs are multidisciplinary in terms of their expertise, then there are more chances that they will be able to come up with great insights. And that is where I think we invite people from diverse disciplines to come and discuss our problem or problem statements or our research findings. Because it always happens that multiple disciplines, when they come together, they look at problem or solutions from different perspectives. And this is where new possibilities emerge. Insights uncover the underlying principle, motivations, or implications related to users, context, or concepts. So this is very common with the research insights. Yeah. Insights are not mere information, observations, data, finding. Insights are different. Insights are not obvious. You will just say that, okay, I went there, I saw a lot of like struggle is there with maybe some sort of like products. And you will say that, okay, I've got some insights. It is not like that. Because those struggles are seen by multiple other people and they are not able to solve those problems or they are not recognizing that as a problem. Is the reason that there are no insights visible in those scenarios and you need to go more deeper and more sort of like more wider in terms of like exploring your domain. So that is where insights are not very obvious, very simple, very easy to be uh, to be explored or to be uh, categorized. Yeah. So insights are interrelated, deeper. They have multiple new perspectives, and they usually provide new information about given situations. Yeah. They need to be justified. So whenever you say you have insights, there has to be some justification. There has to be some sort of like logic or rationale, or some sort of like a broader perspective about why this is to be called as insight. Then comes good insights, mostly backed by the extensive research. In some cases, you just come across some insights which are by fluke, by chances, by serendipity, you come across something. But most of the entrepreneurs or most of the enterprises who struggle to get right insights invest heavily in research. They go and explore, even though they have got some insights, they go and validate those insights. And that is where it is always backed by the extensive and planned research activity. Yeah. So don't just say that, okay, you have seen some problem happening in and around you. You have come across great insight and you should work on it. Leading to finding a logical, leading to findings in a logical manner. So insights usually lead to certain type of conclusions in a very logical manner. It doesn't happen that it is all because of you have got some idea or you are too intelligent and you have got some directions. Will not happen most of the time. Yeah, they are always meaningful, unique. Uniqueness is very important in insights. They need to be unique because otherwise it will be me too sort of like solution. Everybody knows this problem is already there and everybody knows how to solve that problem. It's not going to work in your favor. Yeah, and you will be struggling in terms of like beating your competition or convincing your people that you are better than others. So try to find out something which is unique in this scenario and how you are going to possibly get advantage over others. True representation of situation, audiences, or scenarios. It has to represent those. Insights cannot be away from your core sort of like domain where you have done the research. Yeah? If it is coming from a different domain, then possibly you should switch your context. It is very, very critical that you should not be focusing or imposing your insights into a domain which is not belonging to them. It usually inspires creativity. So whenever you get some insights, great insights, you will behave more creative. You will possibly have more ideas. You will be more excited to possibly look into possibilities and take them forward immediately. They need to be distinct. And so they inspire creativity. They are usually distinct and breakthrough in terms of their actions. So yeah, so in insights, we find out insights by doing analysis, and analysis are multiple level of analysis. May not be only limited to statistical if it is a numeric data, or may not be just interpretation of qualitative outcome. just because you have gone through some interviews, but it has to be more deeper analysis. You have to get into details why these things are emerging like this and why we should rely on these information. Yeah, so they are mostly interrelated, and it is very common characteristic that insight will never be floating alone. Yeah, in the given sort of like space, they always be having some connections, and they will be able to tell you that this is how it is going to be interrelated and going to solve multiple level of challenges. You need to be basically seeing patterns within data events. If you are coming across, let's say, some challenges, there has to be some validation on the other side. If you're asking certain questions, multiple number of people should say that, okay, this is a problem which we need to really uh, get resolved. Yeah. So you need to see the patterns between not only the data, but events, responses, or maybe very early insights which are coming to you. It requires imagination and perspectives. So when you are dealing with possibly analyzing data, you have to be imaginative to understand how consumer will think, how you can present this idea, how you can possibly identify something which is unique. So that way, it requires creativity and imagination to understand what type of insights may emerge from given situation. Sometimes you have to be very clever in terms of picking those notes, ideas, or links. You can behave in all possible different manner. You cannot be just subtle, straightforward, very obedient. Okay, I'll do this process and I'll get the insight. No, you have to be very quick in terms of understanding the situations and behave according to that. So being quirky, clever, witty, eccentric, paranoid is all possible when you are trying to understand any sort of like insights from given data. Most of the time you have to be calm also. You have to be settled and subtle in terms of how you will pick up insights. You need to question your insights. When you have insights, especially when we were discussing Chavi and Saurabh, yeah, why I'm asking you to go back and possibly check all other details, because in some cases it happens that insights are very encouraging at initial level, and when you move forward, maybe towards the end of your activity execution, you will realize, okay, we are missing out on something. It should not happen. And that is where you need to question your insights or your directions or your ideas multiple times. Yeah. And you can possibly do some experiments also to validate those sort of like outcome. So question whether it is really something what you are looking forward to, whether it is something which you really want to work on, and is it inspiring or breakthrough? Is it really giving you some edge over others or not? Is a bigger question which should keep coming back to you, and you should possibly resolve that before you go forward. Does it really connect with your respondents wherever you have done research? Whether those insights are really related to them or not. If there is no relationship between the respondents and the insights, then possibly either something else is emerging and you will possibly make use of this insight for something else, not the given problem. Is it really something new, exceptional, differentiable? How it is affecting, impacting the larger scenario is also to be questioned. Whether your insight is really going to make a difference or not. Yeah. And then last few slides, presenting insights, like how you present it. Because when you have insights and when you have done a presentation right now, similarly, you will have to present your insight multiple times in front of other people who are basically the stakeholders, maybe your users or maybe decision makers or funding agencies. So present your insights by clearly saying that these are the questions and these are the outcomes. Yeah, this is where we have got some sort of like ideas and we are going forward. Yeah. So understand what is your insight is really going to do with the given situation. Yeah. Understand what is known and what is available from the research. What is expected and what are the expectations of the client. So what your end users are really looking forward to. Whether they really want to use your solutions in this manner or not is a big question which you need to ask. Yeah. And you need to present that in the right manner. Understand and define the mode of sharing the insights. Maybe sometimes you get a chance, you just go and tell people, and people take your idea and are ready to discuss further. In some cases, you have to make an extensive presentation and you have to justify your work or your idea in the right manner. So make sure that your mode of presentation, mode of sharing insight is right, and it is making some connection between you and the audience. Focus on the big story. Yeah. You always should present your insights, your ideas, your approaches, keeping in mind your bigger approach, like medicine, sort of like accessibility. The larger idea might be beyond providing medicines, might be to establish trust between government and the people. Yeah. Or possibly to make it more accessible, healthcare or maybe the health facilities more accessible to people. And medicines are one means to achieve that. Could be your larger story which you can bank upon. So that way, keep that in your sight and keep sort of like bringing that larger story, larger objective in the context when you make your presentation. Yeah. Don't tell everything in one go. And most of the time, it happens like if you start telling everything, people sometimes lose interest, or sometimes they get to know your suspense or your sort of like secret ingredients. So be very specific. Yeah, when you present. Tell a story. Don't tell your data. Don't tell your ideas in a straightforward manner. Bring in contents which creates a story in the minds of people. People remember stories. They don't remember information. Yeah. And that is why we go and watch movies, because stories are more connecting to us instead of like those the content or information or climax which we are really waiting for. So story is more critical, and bring in that story in your presentations. Yeah. Convey and end with the way forward. So mostly insights are also ambiguous. They don't lead to the solution. So maybe you can bring in that way forward whenever you are presenting your insights, so that your audience will be more educated and will be able to take it forward. Few examples like Post-it was an insight when Mr. Spencer was basically, Dr. Spencer was basically trying to create a glue which were more harder, which are more stronger. And he was not able to make that, but he could discover something which was more easier, which was not actually sticking on any surface. And with this glue idea, they came up with the idea of Post-its. Or Velcro was the insight when the inventor was basically struggling with taking out those seeds which were like collected on the cloth because of the effect of those Velcro. Yeah. And they came across the idea that a material can be created which will possibly be making it more easier for attaching two objects. Yeah, mostly the cloth. So that were a lot of like ideas. These ideas come across when you do extensive research. In one of the cases, when my students were doing a project recently, very recently, and they were trying to resolve the issue for women entrepreneurs in terms of buying or taking financial support from financial institutions. So they came across data that a lot of women entrepreneurs are struggling in terms of taking loans. Women are not given loans so easily, and they were trying to understand how different influencing factors are there, which are basically the deterrent for women to take loans, which is coming from family or social stigma, or in some cases confidence of women, or in some cases banks sort of like perspective when they're going to give loans and all. And their major insights were like banking system need to be corrected. They were saying women entrepreneur should deal with women banker. Is one of the insight. Yeah, I'm just giving you some example. Yeah. They were saying because women will be able to understand better the women entrepreneurs, because they are knowing what challenge, what issues, what type of complications they are facing, and how they have become a woman entrepreneur, and how they have reached to a level where they are asking for a loan. It's a very difficult thing, and nobody or no banker or no sort of like lender will be able to understand it so easily. And this is where one of the insight was like banking system should also have women bankers to deal with women loan seekers. Yeah, is one of the insight. I'm just giving you an example, but there were more deeper insights, and they are still working on. Yeah. Ultimately, finally, we are reaching to this level where we are saying that insights are leading to better directions. Yeah, and this was our sort of like effort, or sort of like our approach to uh, in the sessions, previous sessions. we're trying to see that from a common sort of like problem, a general problem, how we reach to a specific problem. Okay. In the process, we do research, we do churning of that research, we get insights, and those insights are something which we can bank on, we can possibly work on extensively, and we can call them as more specific sort of like opportunities or problems. Yep. So this is something which we need to keep in mind, and maybe we can be more precise in terms of our interventions by having those insights leading our entrepreneurial efforts. Yep. So I'm stopping here, and if we have any questions, we can possibly, if you want to ask some questions on these slides, we can take those, and then we can call the next presentation. Yep. So is it relevant now? Can you see something from your research, sort of like objective, to how you will possibly lead to insights? Okay, do you really feel that insights are very critical? A basic question. Ashutosh, Sambhav, okay. Yeah. All right. So my suggestion is like wherever you have insights also, like wherever you have creative directions or creative ideas with you, question them, go back if you're not confident, do one more round of extensive research, try to understand your users, your market, and in those contexts, what are new sort of like possibilities or opportunities emerging, and then go forward. Yeah, this is the whole objective of doing this activity. Last 6 sessions, we have tried to possibly refine our our approach. Yeah? And by doing so, you will be more confident to take up more sessions in coming sort of like rounds. They will possibly be able to solve your more deeper problems or more deeper issues related to market, or maybe pitching for funding, or maybe defining your business models. So that is the idea right now, which we are trying to work on. This is very preliminary stage of your work. And at this stage, if you are confident and you are able to take up right thing forward, then possibly your journey will be much easier. Yeah, this is the larger objective. I think I'm sounding right. Yeah, Malvika, Saurabh.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Yes, sir. It is important, I guess, because like without having any kind of insight or something, because as you said earlier, that your thinking capability or your creativity improves like when you get some kind of insights or something. So I guess it will definitely like will be beneficial for them in the long run. So yeah.
All right. So shall we take the next presentation?
Yes, sir. Anybody who would like to volunteer for the pitching? Or shall I just call out the names?
No, so let's have one round of like quick problem introduction again. Let's have views from others. I think it's a time when possibly we can take up 1 or 2 problem statement, even if we don't have a presentation ready. I think that will be a good thing if any group is interested. I don't have any issue. I don't want to waste this time.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah.
Anyone whosoever is interested for the same? Ashutosh, yeah, great. Yes, Ashutosh, please unmute yourself and yeah.
I had a question with Jitendra sir. Like, sir, how can we find the right set of people to work with? Like earlier, we find people that they are very much enthusiastic about the problem statement, but as the project moves forward, people become disinterested and like they lose that spark to solve the social issue. So how do we address that?
So I came across one of the article that the success of Apple company is not because Steve Jobs got got very intelligent people on board. Yeah, he got the right people on board who were really interested in solving those problems. So it's a very, very tough question. Otherwise, I would say that getting right people who are really wanting to work with you, identifying those people is really a big challenge. But I think basic idea, as per my discussions with other entrepreneurs, my friends who have built their companies, most of them suggest that people should be, one very important criteria is like the idea, they should connect with the idea. They should be inspired by the idea which you are trying to work on. In some cases, you are presenting those ideas and other people take those ideas in a very positive manner. In some cases, you need to convince them that, okay, this idea is really good and we really need to work on this. And you want them to join because they have certain capability to take this idea forward. Yeah. So that way, I think you need to understand and see how you can possibly convince people to take your idea, to own your idea, which you are trying to work on. This first. Second is like, I think they need to complement you. Yeah. Your basically your requirements in the organization. So maybe if you are a good sort of like engineer and you can possibly work on coding, you might be needing a designer who can possibly present your codes rightly. You might be needing a manager who can possibly manage and arrange things in a right manner. You might be needing somebody if your organization requires multiple people to be onboarded, then you might be needing somebody who can deal with people, make them motivated, convinced to work with you guys. So that way, try to see what capabilities you have and what is something which you are missing as a partner or as an employee in your organization. And by doing so, by analyzing that in a right manner, you can possibly look for those people. Yep. But it's a process, I believe. You have to be into the process. You will keep finding people somewhere. You will find somebody. You will offer them somebody else will find you, and they will come to you saying you are working on a really interesting problem, and I really want to be with you. And that way, there is a continuous evaluation. Sometimes people work together because they are friends. Sometimes people work together because they have common objectives. Sometimes people work because they see great money or great sort of like success ahead, and they just join and work together. So there are a lot of like motivations. You have to identify the right motivation for them to join. Hope I could answer.
Thank you, sir. I got your point.
Yeah.
Just I had
Thank you.
another doubt, like in the initial stage, the monetary value associated with these startups is quite less. So hiring skilled individuals and or at the same time ensuring that they are motivated to solve those issues is kind of challenging, I feel.
Yeah. So I remember one of the session from one of the discussion from Piyush Bansal, and he was saying one of their partner was basically earlier that guy was the employee of Lenskart. Yeah, and they were, if you remember that. Yeah. And then he was saying, but person was so passionate. He used to own everything which he was taking up. He was saying that no, I have to solve this problem. I have to work on this. I have to, and he was so into the problem, into the organization that they felt that person should not remain an employee, but that person should be made a partner. And then that is how they got him as a partner in the organization. So yeah, I think it's very important to motivate people, important to tell people why you are working for this and why they should also join. Yeah, many times it happens people join for money. It's not a bad thing because opportunity is such and people feel that okay, one can earn great money. They start together and they go on journey together. In some cases, people work for cause. Yeah, the way you guys have taken up challenging sort of like issues from society. It's amazing, and you will find a lot of like-minded people taking up those challenges. So go and talk to people, maybe students from other institutions, maybe entrepreneurs who are already working on something, and tell them your idea, why you really want to work on this. like farmland issues, which were presented by Saurabh. It's a major problem. Like how we will correct our farming sector, how we will correct our agricultural sort of like challenges. It's a major issue, not only in terms of like keeping one person engaged, a farmer engaged with the farming process. Because if you go and ask any farmer, they will say, no, I want my my children to become doctor, engineer, IT guys. He never says that they want their children to become a farmer. There's a bigger, major problem with the farming sector. So you're finding more laborers and less owners right now. Yeah, less owners working on farmland. There's a bigger problem right now. It is going to become much bigger after maybe 10, 15 years later. So your approach to resolve those issues, to make farming more lucrative, yeah, more viable, is a big challenge in present scenario in the Indian context. Because we have not got to a level where our farming practices should be. So that way, I think your insights, your findings would be amazing when you go forward. I really feel, Saurabh, you should really do a good research. Try to find out issues which nobody is seeing here. If Saurabh is here. Yeah, Saurabh is here. Any other question? Okay, friends, I'm going to put my contact details. You can write to me if you have any query. If you want to have some discussions, you can possibly just send me a message, and I'll be as per availability. I'll try to connect with you. Yeah. So this is my mail ID. Okay. Yeah, this is my mail ID. You can write to me. And if you have any query, any support you want, if you need designers to work with you guys, just let me know. Float your idea. I'll possibly connect with maybe some group of designers, and you'll really find them useful. They are amazing people to bring in very complex ideas together. They will pose a lot of like questions, challenges, which helps resolve problems. Yeah. All right. So shall we stop here? Alvika, please suggest.
Sir, just a minute, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sir.
Just having a call, sir. Just a second.
So any other point, Mangalika? Sure. I think
Ashutosh is raising his hands. I think Ashutosh has some point. Yes, Ashutosh.
Yeah, I had a question like the user research should be an iterative process, like we are building a product and simultaneously like testing it on users and then enhancing their like implementing their feedback, or should we do it on the later stages when it's close to release?
No, it purely depends on what type of product or services you are working on. Yeah, so let's say if you are working on something which is very exceptional, never been done so far, then it can be a iterative process. You can possibly do some experiments or do some research. You will go back, you will frame some model, you will test that model, you will come back and you will do second round of research and multiple round of research. But if it is a well-established sort of like process, let's say an example of maybe example of vaccination in some sort of like societal scenario, yeah, some sort of like context. So maybe you are trying to vaccinate people about a disease which is very, very critical and people have less amount of awareness. So here your process is well established, how vaccination should happen, how processes should be followed, how you should enroll people, how you should educate people. Maybe your research will be more important in terms of like understanding present day challenges related to awareness and related to readiness of those people. You might not need to come back and do another round of research in this scenario, especially. Yeah. So it purely depends on like in what context you are working on and what type of challenge you are basically dealing with. Yep.
Yes, sir. Any other doubts that we have? Sorry. Yeah. Any other doubts that we have? Sure, sir. So, sir, like I'll just like to appreciate and thank you for your wonderful time that you are given to us and to these students as well. Even in fact, I've connected with you over LinkedIn, so I have also raised the request, sir. So, being from a mechanical engineering background, I know, sir, like how these design thinking works, and same is like for Manglika as well because she's also from a mechanical background.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah,
I'm also a
we
mechanical engineer, so yes.
yes, so yes. So this was the first thing that I was able to relate with you regarding the this.
So mechanical
So
engineering is a
definitely,
universal engineering department. Eh?
yes, sir. Evergreen branch, I
Most of
guess.
them are otherwise specialized. I would say those engineers who are
Yes,
coming from the other disciplines, please don't mind. But I would say that mechanical engineers are more universal engineers. You can challenge me later.
We have gone through a lot.
Yes.
yes, sir.
All right.
So yeah, so yeah, yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Any other task that is to be given to these students, sir, from your end, or
Yeah, so I would say that once insights are there, I think they should define insights and they can send it to me. I can possibly comment on them. So
all
based
right.
on today's concluding sort of like slides, they can possibly work on this. It is going to be an ongoing process. So, but I really feel that they should be ready before taking up next session on understanding market and creating a business model or maybe pitching for maybe funding or something. So that way, I think they should start working on this and take some clue, some points from here if they are relevant. But I think this will be really good if they can send me some insights by defining their problem statement, by presenting their problem statement, if they can share some insights.
Perfect, sir. Sure, sir.
But for
And
your purpose, I think they should complete this assignment. They
yes, sir,
should
yes, sir,
complete their
definitely.
insights in right manner before they make the next presentation in front of the committee, in front of jury.
Done, sir. Done.
Yeah.
We'll take a note of it and we'll actually it has already been uploaded on the portal for the like submitting the task and all. So that thing will take care of it, sir. And also like we are about to like it's just information for the students that we have already started with our mentoring sessions. So in that, what we do is like if students are facing any kind of a technical issue or something and they require some kind of a mentoring from any kind of expert or something. So what we do is like we have created a dashboard. So sir, if you like just I will just take you through the portal if you have some time, sir. Um, so
yeah.
yeah.
Sort of, I have gone through the portal. I think last
All right, all
sessions.
right. Perfect,
I've
sir.
seen the
So
way
yeah,
things are arranged and people keep putting their
yeah,
information, data, and all. So if any time if I have to like you will ask me to go through that, I'll be happy to do that. I don't have any issue.
definitely, sir. Definitely. And we have onboarded our mentor as well, Vikas, sir. If you're here, Vikas, sir. Hello, sir. Yeah. So, sir,
Hi,
he's our basically our technical mentor. Uh, very welcome, sir.
Hi, Vikas.
thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Hi, Jiten. Hi, everyone.
So, I just wanted to convey a message to the teams that it is like necessary for all of you guys to have a one-to-one session with Vikas Jain, sir. It is like you can have your normal discussion, whatever the discussion that you would like to have related to your innovation or your project, right? So that maybe like he can help you better with whatever the difficulties that you're facing related to your project. So let me just give you a introduction about Mr. Vikas. So he's having 2 decades of practical, technical, and expertise across multiple domains. He had led like technology development and engineering teams from inspection to maturity for a startup to a mid-scale companies in industries including travel, hospitality, e-commerce, edtech, fintech, and social innovations. He has also spearheaded the implementation of solutions for high transition websites utilizing distribution microservices architecture, collaborating with cross-cultural teams across diverse geographical locations and all. So yeah, and his hands-on experience encompasses a wide range of technology stacks, including but not limited to Nodes.js, MongoDB, Java, Hibernate, Springs, Servlet, JSP, MySQL, web services, XML, and many more. Pardon me, sir, if I have missed anything or something from your end. So,
No,
yes.
it's fine. Sort of. Thanks a lot. Sort of. I'll take it up. So I mean, to be brief, I'm a hands-on guy. Got more than 20 years of experience into technology. You know, I've been into on-ground execution. Did various startups, worked with multiple corporates. That was it. So now, I have gone through the ideas which you people have pitched. Those are really fantastic ideas. Now let's carve out these ideas and prepare a execution plan and take it forward and convert your idea into a blockbuster startup, and let's do it together. So I'm there to help. You can book your mentoring sessions with me. My slots are available. Let's build it together. As simple as that. So if you need any kind of help, I'm always there. Either through the sessions, offline, I'm always available. Not a problem at all. Let's get together and bring out something that matters. Yeah, that is it. So you can find my mentoring sessions. Slots are available. You can book the available slots anytime from your portal. You just Saurabh will take you through the process. If you don't know, you can reach out to Saurabh, Vishal, or even me. For that matter, we'll help you out. Booking these mentoring sessions, but these are mandatory to book. Actually, you need to book a session with me before going ahead to the next level of the program. So this was it. Anyways, best of luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So just a final last request from your end. If you can just scan this QR code and fill your feedback. It is valuable for us. So if you can just spare like another 2 minutes for the same. So yeah, thank you, Vikas sir. Thank you for your kind words. And Jiten sir, I would like to thank you again for your wonderful time and the contribution that you have given to us. So yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, Mangalika.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Jitendra.
sir.
Thank you. It was really nice having your guidance and knowledge. It was. I always wanted to join the sessions, but somehow I did it today. I'm very happy about it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. I'll be sharing you the mail again with the mentoring details, like how you can book the slots. So I'll be shooting that email like within another 10-15 minutes.
Or
So,
if you can remove the screen, the QR is not visible to, might not be visible to the students.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
If now it is
it's
visible.
visible. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Guys, please scan this and share your feedbacks so that what better we can do with you for you, and it will be really helpful. Yeah, so please make sure that you fill these feedback forms.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Bye, everyone. Happy weekend.
Bye.
And also, please submit your tasks, whosoever is pending with. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Manglika. Thank you, Vishal.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.